Broadcasting to you from the heart of northern Minnesota, this is the Roger Radio Show. I am Roger Radio.
And I'm Aegis on Levity of the Encompassing group.
How you doing today, Aegis?
Doing fucking fantastic.
Yeah, you're doing better than me. I am so fucking hungover right now. And I see we got today's podcast is brought to you in part by Weekend at Bernie's, otherwise I know it as Five Nights at Freddy Krueger's home. But to give you an idea of how ready I am, dude, I got a fucking leftover Voodoo Ranger here. Might as well make it.
Look what I got.
Yeah, I see that, man. I see that indeed. All right, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
So for this next podcast here, ladies and gentlemen, for all you Dream Theater fans out there, this one is for you. Because we are going to be looking at Dream Theater's new album, Parasomnia.
So did you want to start with that statement from Mike Portnoy, or did you want to go into the definition of what parasomnia is?
You know, before we get into the definition of what parasomnia is, I do want to look at this statement that was released by drummer Mike Portnoy, who made his first appearance with Dream Theater since 2009's Black Clouds and Silver Linings. That was the last album he was on before he left to join that one supergroup. I understand he was in a supergroup, right, Aegis?
Yeah. During his break, he participated in a supergroup called Flying Colors, which I really like.
Yep, and I know you introduced them to me a while back, and they sound really good. I played a few of their songs on my radio shows.
Yeah, so really great band.
Yeah,
it's also got members of like Spock's Beard and some other shit.
Yeah,
Spock's
someone
Beard
from Kansas,
really good prog group.
Yeah, someone from Kansas was on there too, which is kind of cool. You know,
one of the members of Kansas was in Flying Colors.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. So
I can't remember either.
Yeah. All right, so right after the album was released, Mike Portnoy ended up releasing a statement, which was a deep statement, a very emotional one for him. Here's what it says. Exactly 1 year ago to the day, February 7th, 2024, the five of us stood in the same room together for the first time in well over a decade. We then spent the majority of the year creating our first album together in 15 years. Today, we can finally share it with all of you. Remember, this review's just right after the album came out, ladies and gentlemen. So,
yep.
Statement continues on to say, we could not be prouder or more excited about what we created. We were so inspired of being together again and feel we really rose to the occasion to create something special. Parasomnia represents everything that is classic Dream Theater, mixing tastes of the past with visions of the future. We hope you enjoy this sonic experience. It is best enjoyed in your optimum listening environment, preferably from start to finish like watching a film. But however you take it in, we hope you enjoy listening to it as much as we did making it.
Yeah, because see, it's not a rock opera, but it is a concept album.
Yes.
And it has a lot of the songs have to do with sleep and something called parasomnia. Do you want to tell the audience what parasomnia is?
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, so parasomnia is a category of sleep disorders that involve abnormal movements, behaviors, emotions, perceptions, and dreams that occur while falling asleep, sleeping between sleep stages, or during arousal from sleep. Parasomnias are disassociated sleep states, which are partial arousals during the transitions between wakefulness and REM sleep and REM sleep and their combinations.
So a lot of parasomnias, from my research, is like the border between sleep and wakefulness. Like there's like night terrors, there's sleepwalking, sleep talking, the fucking sleep paralysis, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's and Dream Theater ends up making this album, Parasomnia. It's instead of being a conventional concept album based around a cohesive narrative, It is a thematic concept album.
Yeah. Kind of
And
like uh the Deer Hunters, the color spectrum. So they had like four songs for each color.
yeah,
That was the concept album, but it wasn't a cohesive story. Okay, so
yeah,
that and this album thematically are kind of similar.
yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember this. This is a band here who I ended up finding mainly because I was watching a Watch Mojo video a while back. It was about bands that became more successful with new lead singers, and Dream Theater just so happened to be like one of their honorable mentions. And then after I listened
Yeah.
to a bit of the music that they played on that video, I decided to check them out and never looked back. How did you get into them?
You got me into them, honestly. I'm surprised I hadn't heard of them earlier because they're a really good prog group and I love my prog.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I figured like you love your progressive rock, and I figured this would be something for you to really enjoy
Yep.
right here.
Yep.
Now, before we get into the tracks here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk a little bit about the album cover here. And you've seen the album cover. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
there's this girl sleepwalking, and if you look in the background toward the right, there's like a shadowy figure, which is
Yeah.
probably a reference to the song "The Shadow Man Incident," which is the last song on the album. We'll get into that more
Yeah.
later. I mean,
I will say this, how the album cover looked, yeah, like, and I told you this, it kind of almost feels like I get a vibe of Stephen King's Rose Red and An American Haunting all rolled into one.
yeah,
That's what I feel with this album cover. Now,
I don't know.
ladies
I
and
think
gentlemen,
the album cover really perfectly encapsulates the concept of parasomnia well.
oh yeah, it really, really does. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've obviously didn't have much time to really do a lot of research, so I ended up making a few notes right here of what I wrote down, and pretty much with for me, honestly, like it has the same. The music almost sounds like if you're playing a Doom Eternal, in my opinion. It's that good,
Yeah.
and I do love my heavy metal, man, as you
Excuse me.
know.
No, I
Uh,
did some research into the meanings of just about all the songs on there.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you want, I'll go over like the meanings of the songs because there's some pretty cool songs on here,
Oh
lyrically
yeah,
and
I'm down for
yeah,
that.
they just sound good too.
Yeah. So yeah, excuse me. I just have to finish my Tums. Got all that
Yeah,
heartburn, man. I think I might have to quit drinking for a while, but I'm probably not gonna anyway. So,
I'm gonna quit drinking for a while too.
yeah,
I'll wait like a few seconds to take another drink.
right. Yep, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, man. Ah, so there was about 8 total tracks that were released or on the album overall, and we're gonna go through them from beginning to the end. The first song is simply called "In the Arms of Morpheus," which is an instrumental.
Yep.
The beginning almost sounded like it had that vibe of like the opening for the Jaws movie
Yep.
with the dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, and
No,
then huh?
so the name is In the Arms of Morpheus. Morpheus is the Greek god of dreams. So like what it sounds like to me is like you can hear like the traffic of a city, and
Yeah,
then someone walking through a door, turning the light off and going to bed. And then they enter the dream that I think turns into a nightmare.
yeah,
That's what it sounds like to me, especially with the name of like In the Arms of Morpheus. Like that sounds like a term for like starting to dream.
yeah. Yep, I know what you mean. Now, hearing the guitar, the heavy guitar
Ooh.
sound that they are known for, the drums, they almost sounded like a broken cuckoo clock for me. And it just reminds me of the music from, like I said, Doom Eternal. The traditional guitar riff almost sounded like from my most favorite Dream Theater song, "A View from the Top of the World," which was released in 2021.
No, want to know my favorite part about this video we're making right now?
What's that?
I'm not being forced to listen to a bunch of pop music. He was I was in his room right there, like listening to a lot of the contenders for
The
best
fucking
album, all that
Grammys.
all that shit. And
Yeah.
like every once in a while he'd hear me like, how do people like this shit? Like, oh
Hey,
my
I ask
God.
myself that all
Like
the time. Mostly like pop music obviously has been around for a long time, and pretty much all the way up to I would say 2010 was when it was okay and
oh,
just
okay is the best term for it.
okay. Yeah.
Mm.
But like I said,
Excuse
dude,
me.
I came from a household where rock and roll was the only genre. It was pretty much my father's law. I mean, I don't think my dad even ever knew who Dream Theater was, to be honest with you, but they're still really good, So I will say
Yeah.
this, though, right before we move on with this podcast, because we'll be done talking about the Grammys. I can safely say that not only can I die a happy man knowing that Taylor did not win any Grammys, but her fucking boy toy, Travis Kelce, failed to three-peat as a Super Bowl champ.
Yep, yep.
Fuck you, Swifties.
uh,
Alrighty, so track number 2 is called Night Terror. The opening part remind me of like those old crime shows from the 60s and 70s and whatnot.
yeah. Oh, my camera's out of focus. It's being fucking weird.
Yeah, might need to fix that a little bit. I know my camera's fine.
There we go. There we go. That's
Beauty.
better.
And it
All right.
it's got and obviously like the opening part, like I said, 90s, 60s and 70s crime shows, and it has like a futuristic like twist. Oh,
Yeah, so do you know what a sleep terror is?
tell the audience,
Well, a
Aegis.
night terror. A night terror is like screaming or crying in intense fear and sometimes waving of arms and legs while not fully awake. So like j just imagine like you're at home like your kid's asleep and then suddenly from his bedroom you hear like fucking screaming and shit. You go
Yeah,
in there and he's still asleep, but he's like just eh.
yeah, I know what you mean. I think I've had maybe a couple
Uh,
occasions where my arms or legs would kind of move like when I'm sleeping and whatnot. And I was like, just like with Seinfeld, I thought it was just like the Jimmy legs or the Jimmy arms.
yeah, see, I've never had night terrors, but I have had wet dreams. You ever have one of those?
Dude, don't even get me started with that. It's probably the worst. It's like the worst thing that I can have, dude, because like I'm a bachelor, dude, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'll just leave it at
Yeah.
that. Okay, so
So
continue.
that's basically what that song is about. It's about like someone going through like night terrors, you know?
Yeah. So, so the next part, right after that beginning part, it almost sounds like you're running away from your fears, but you know that you
Yeah.
can't run. It's just gonna still catch you anyway in the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Track number 3, A Broken Man.
Oh, this one's cool. Do you want to know what this song is about?
Tell me.
All right, this is a quote from the website Genius because I use that a lot to find meanings of songs.
Oh,
It's
okay.
anyway. It tells the story of a war vet who is experiencing sleep disturbances such as nightmares and insomnia due to combat experience. And it contains actual audio of vets speaking about their personal horrors and replaying the traumatic events of wartime deployment.
Yeah, I can really understand that because I have a lot of friends who are either current servicemen or former servicemen, and some of those people who I've talked to from my hometown of Hill City, more so, especially those who served in like Korea and Vietnam, they obviously say that mostly your brain is fully on the whole time when you're in combat. Whether or not you're sleeping, or if you know you're sleeping, it doesn't matter. You're still fully awake mentally and emotionally. And
Excuse me.
obviously, I'm not going to mention names, but there was a Vietnam vet who lives like on the beaches of Hill Lake. And his son and I were going over to his house just to hang out, have a couple beers. His backyard, sadly, it's set up like he's still in combat, dude.
Damn.
Yeah.
But no,
If,
that's where the term "a broken man" comes from. The title of the song, "A Broken Man," because he's like broken from his fucking combat experience and shit.
yeah. I'm telling you, man, like you can leave war, but in the end, dude, war sadly will never leave you.
Yes.
Okay, so what was I gonna say here? The opening sound, the opening tracks almost reminded
I'll
me
be
of.
right back. I gotta grab another beer. I'm listening though.
Yeah, I got you. So looking back on the track, ladies and gentlemen, the opening part for "A Broken Man" almost sounded like um the opening track or opening sequence, I should say, for a Judas Priest song "Painkiller," which is one of my favorite Priest songs of all time. You all comfy now?
Yeah, I
The
got me another Voodoo Ranger. Not an official sponsor
Yeah,
yet.
if I get a sponsor, dude, it's gonna be the fucking Jack Daniels that I want to sponsor me, and also the Anaheim Ducks, my favorite NHL team, alongside with the Minnesota Wild. Yeah, does Bernie need one back there?
You want a beer, Bernie? He doesn't want to take off his mask. Otherwise, he said he would.
Right? I don't blame him, man. Otherwise, what you could do, you could just if he cuts like a little hole in the mask or something, he could like put a straw through there.
Just a
He'd be like,
little. Yeah,
he'd be all
yeah,
set to go. Heck, it was a cold day on inauguration day for him, man. But I guarantee you that I assure you, man, that beer would keep him warm. Ah, all right, so track number 4, "Dead Asleep."
This one's pretty cool. It's about a guy who stabs his wife to death while sleepwalking.
And sadly, we have
So
had
so
a
like he
lot of instances that actually happened where people accidentally killed their loved one by mistake while they were sleepwalking.
that's actually happened before.
There was a couple times that I think it did happen. I can't remember,
Damn.
but
But no, like the beginning is like he wakes to such a sight because he wakes up and sees his wife stabbed to death. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm not crazy. I was dead asleep." And in
yeah,
the end, it's like they don't press any charges because he was dead asleep, you know?
yeah. And maybe, and even then with like parasomnia, it's also kind of like a disorder that the courts would take into consideration, like with
Yeah.
insanity pleas or all of that.
You want another
Okay,
drink, Bernie?
so Jesus Christ, dude.
He wanted
Okay,
another drink.
yeah, I know. I don't blame him. So the opening sounded something fancy like, like when you're at a fancy dinner with a bunch of millionaires and politicians, right? And
Yeah.
you're like on a ship before the horror kicks in. It reminds me of like the opening for that fucking movie Ghost Ship.
Oh, I love that movie.
Fucking everyone's heads decapitated and all that.
Yeah.
I was like, it almost reminds me, it almost was giving me Dead Space vibes if you know that video game. I
Oh,
mean,
I love Dead Space. I've only played the original though.
yeah, I mean, the original's good. I mean, you could, I guarantee you talk to my sister and my brother-in-law, and they would not shut the fuck up about it. They even played the remaster, and they said the remaster's just as good, but I don't know, dude.
Yep.
Isaac Clarke talking in the original, dude, it just doesn't feel right. So, next track we have is Midnight Messiah,
I,
and I did not write
I,
any notes for this.
this honestly Midnight Messiah. This is my favorite song on this album. What's your favorite song on this album?
Um, I can't remember actually. We'll get to that at the end.
But no, yeah, this
I
this is
do.
my favorite song on the album though. Midnight Messiah.
Yeah, I think for me it will be Bend the Clock.
Bend the plot.
The
Bend the clock is
plot.
pretty good too.
Imagine that, dude. You make a new song for this podcast, dude. You gotta name it that. Bend the plot.
Bend the cock.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, that's it. Good night, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye. Fuck you, man.
Sorry, I had to make that joke.
Yeah, you fucking prick. Oh, and then of course, prick almost is kind of another word for it. So, but I don't fucking care.
All right, so Midnight Messiah begins with a quote from the animated movie Walking Life.
Oh yeah,
It's just like spoken. Yeah, I've never seen that. That's just what I've learned from my research into this song.
yeah.
It's got a lot of references to one of their older albums. It's called Metropolis Part Two.
Ah,
There are a lot
yes,
of
old
references to
Metropolis.
that song to that album in it.
Yeah,
And then there are also some other references to other songs that they did. And there are also some references that seem to be regarding like Mike Portnoy rejoining the band.
yeah.
And overall, like the song seems to be about like someone trying to distinguish dreams from reality. There's like something about like someone like they're asleep, but they're not actually asleep. They're visiting the land of the dead.
Oh yeah,
Uh, yeah. There's also something like some lyrics that propose like this concept of like an unending dream. I don't know. This is the most lyrically, it's the most complex song on this album, in my opinion. But it's
yeah.
also my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's
Yeah.
like I said, I didn't really write much for that notes for that, and of course the lyrics were done by Mike Portnoy. This was his first song he sang
Yeah.
in Dream Theater since his return. Or
Oh,
I can't,
sweet. I
yeah,
didn't know that.
or I can't remember if he actually sang in any of their other songs. I didn't look really deep into their discography because I always keep the mindset of like one singer and whatnot, but then you got all these bands who are fucking like Oasis who trade off between the Gallagher brothers. Then you got the Eagles who trade off between everyone, and then the Beatles who trade off between everyone.
All right. So the next song is, do you want to say the title of the song?
Are we dreaming? Let me ask you this, ladies and gentlemen. Are you really awake?
Yeah.
I'm just
Pretty
saying.
sure I'm awake.
And
You're like,
for me, I would be like, am I having a nightmare?
yep.
It is a minute and a half interlude song, so it's like one of those intermission type of shit, you know?
Yeah, it's got like some spoken words in it. They're mostly, are we dreaming?
Yeah,
That's
I was
really the entirety of that song.
yeah I but for what I've wrote down, like I was hearing like church bells or something like that. It sounded like I was at a
Yeah.
fucking funeral, dude. And I've
This
already
is
been
the
to
only
enough of
song that I
them.
don't have any notes for,
Yeah,
just
well,
because it was so short.
that's what it reminds me of is like that. It's like I'm
Okay.
about to walk into a church, and then all of a sudden, coffin right out there. Many people lined up to just look at everyone, you know, or to say their final goodbyes. I think probably for me, if when my time comes, if I do an open casket, I'm gonna probably either have my Hill City Lehrman jacket on, or I'm probably gonna wear my Anaheim Ducks jumpsuit. I don't want tux.
When when my grandma on my dad's side died, at her funeral, they had a kegger.
Oh yeah,
That's
I'm
what she
told.
wanted.
I think excuse me. I think when as soon as that time comes for me, dude, I'm just gonna use whatever left I have for my 401k money or retirement fund, and I'm gonna force everyone to drink take a shot of Honey Jack. Just invest in a lot of Honey Jack, and then make everyone do shots until we run out. So yeah. All right. So number 7, we got Ben the Cock. I'm at Clock. My favorite track on here, and I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, what the fuck did I just hear, dude? It was like such one of those fucking mood change things. It started really somber, and then all of a sudden it ends up getting to their actual sound. Like, what the living fucking fuck?
But the living fucking fuck is right.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what the song's about?
Please tell us, Aegis, please.
All right. It is written from the point of view of someone who suffers from sleep paralysis episodes, which I personally get a lot.
Oh,
They want
don't talk to me about sleep paralysis, dude. I've gotten enough fucking nights where that happened, dude.
yeah, I get sleep paralysis at least like once a week. But I'm gonna explain to the audience what sleep paralysis is, okay? Just
Yeah.
so they know what it is.
Yeah,
So
please do.
basically what'll happen, I'll go to sleep, and then I'll wake up and I can see everything, but I can't move. I can't move at all. And sometimes with that, other people have this too. They'll start hallucinating while they have sleep paralysis. So I'll
Yeah.
just be in
Give
their
me a
bed,
sec. I'll be
can't
right back.
move, and then see fucking figures and shit.
Oh, okay. I'll be
Okay.
right back a sec. Give me a moment.
Okay.
I fucking hate this heater in here, man. I completely forgot to turn off my heater, so I think we should be fine. But I hated how it just keeps turning on, then turning back off. It shouldn't even be fucking doing that. This thing's a piece of shit. But
But yeah, that's what sleep paralysis is. And the character in this song, they want to be rid of these episodes that seem to come at like a witching hour every night.
yeah.
The person wishes to bend the clock to either go back in time before the episode, excuse me, or forward in time after it's over. And as time goes by, they are more desperate as the episodes only get worse.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, man.
A
It's
lot of that information is from the website Genius again.
yeah, genius.com. I think I might plug it into the description so that everyone can take a look as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have
Genius
to
is good for like finding meaning to lyrics if you're struggling to figure out what they mean.
yeah, once again, ladies and gentlemen, not a sponsor.
Yep, not a sponsor at all.
Yep, but
Someday,
someday, man.
someday.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Hell
I was trying to show it. Yeah, but then of course I would probably
yeah.
talk to Clock Hour or whatever, So
Oh
all
yeah.
right, looks like we.
We can be sponsored by both.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anyways, ah. Alrighty,
For those
so
who don't know, I drink my beers in two big gulps.
yeah,
So this is the second half of this beer.
fucking A, bro. Go, 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 go. All right, so now we conclude our track listing with the Shadow Man incident, the longest track on this album, clocking it at
It is
19 and a half
19
minutes.
minutes, 19 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, when it comes to making music, dude, do you honestly think you could go for like 20 to 30 minutes in a track?
I mean, I'd have to have a really good idea. I could probably do that though.
Yeah, I think
If
for
I
me,
really wanted
dude,
to, I could do that.
yeah. I mean, I can understand that, but I mean, I know that Dream Theater is one of those bands who likes to do very long tracks and whatnot. There was a couple
Yeah, a
instances
lot
where,
of prog.
like, yeah, Emerson, Lake and Palmer's one of them. Pink Floyd's
Yeah, a
one of
lot
them.
of prog groups make really long songs. Like Flying Colors, for example, they have some pretty long songs too.
Yeah, yeah, they do, yeah.
Or like Haken and so on will do that too.
Yep, absolutely. I know Emerson, Lake and Palmer, like obviously Tarkus, which is
Tarkus, yeah, I was gonna say.
probably my most favorite ELP song, man. It's about 20 minutes, and it does make sense. And then you listen to another band like Yes, who has like
They've got some long songs too.
yeah, they have like one album that's only fucking 3 songs. So, but is there any definition about the Shadow Man?
Basically, so there are two possible interpretations of this song. One is it's about someone with sleep paralysis, like seeing they call them like sleep paralysis demons,
Yeah.
and mostly what it'll be is like these shadowy figures, like in the corner of your eye, and or just standing like above you in your bed,
Yep.
or shit
So,
like that, and it's pretty fucking scary. It's either about that, or the other possible interpretation is like a kid trying to get
yeah.
asleep, and they see like a shadowy figure in like their closet or some shit.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, man. All right. So,
Those are my interpretations of it. I didn't look too in depth on the lyrics, but that's what I came up with.
oh, okay. So, what I've written down from my notes here is the opening, it sounded like I was hearing a can of spray, a fishing reel, and a music box.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then It almost, and then when the music starts kicking in, it almost sounded like the opening for A View from the Top of the World. Once again, one of my most favorite Dream Theater song. And of course, middle around the middle, it sounded like a final showdown was happening, probably fighting your sleep demons or whatever. And then I think I wrote something here that's like some part at one point sounded like a Sonic the Hedgehog high-speed chase.
No, I'm not gonna lie, this song is my second favorite off the entire album.
Yeah.
My favorite was Midnight Messiah, but this one is definitely a close second. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is about. I just like the way it sounds.
Yeah, I would have to listen back on some of these songs again because I got like maybe 3 or 4 of them that I'm gonna download. Otherwise, I'll just probably download the whole album. It's really good. It's
Yeah, that's
probably
what I did.
it's
I used Amazon Music and I just downloaded the entire album.
Oh, dude, I can't even do Amazon Music anymore because one, it's a waste of extra money that I could use to bring my girls out on dates. And then number two, they keep removing my fucking songs without my fucking permission and putting in something else that's from a different fucking album, whether it be the live albums or fucking compilation albums. But I don't want that.
Yeah,
Fuck you,
I
Amazon.
I know. I have a free just because my mom has Amazon Prime and was like, I can use that. I don't have to pay for fucking Spotify or any shit like that. There are some like occasional problems I have with it, but overall I can get it fixed.
Yeah,
It does get a little bit annoying sometimes though.
Yeah, I mean, hell, dude, I download my music like I say. I got great software that's like the YouTube, the MP3 thing. So I just get my songs from YouTube and then download it. But probably might want to be careful. I don't want to get arrested after all. So, yeah, it looks like he's having a good time. All right, so we got about 5 minutes to go on this. So, what can I say about it, ladies and gentlemen? The album Parasomnia is actually really, really good. Like
it is.
it has their same traditional sound, dude. They did not fucking sell out like a lot of these fucking artists did, like fucking Taylor Swift or Beyonce with the fucking country bullshit that she tried to do. And obviously,
It wasn't
ladies and
even
gentlemen,
country, it was pop music. It was straight
yeah,
up pop music. It was
yeah.
like, oh, I used an acoustic guitar. That means it's country. No, it's still pop music.
Did you? Hang on. Did you see? All right, I showed you that video of Kanye interrupting Taylor, right?
You did.
And then there was Beyonce, and Beyonce, who was dating Kanye at the time. They show her face, and she was so fucking horrified, dude. It was so amazing. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not listened to Parasomnia, I strongly recommend it. I really recommend
listen
it.
to it. It's really good.
Yeah, and for all of you who have not listened to Dream Theater, go. What are you doing? Go fucking listen to their music, man. It's great. It is so great, dude. They have such a great structure when they do their music, man. It really, really do have a great structure. What can you say about this album?
Honestly, I thought it was really good. One of their best, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like the only albums they've done that were better was Metropolis Part Two. What was the other one? You could probably name
A
it.
View from the Top of the World.
No, I wasn't thinking about that one. It was an older one.
I think it was their debut, maybe. I don't remember, dude. But
I can't remember what it's called either.
yeah, but we'll take a look at it. I'm sure we'll look
Yeah.
at it later. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I recommend it. The link to the track listing it's on YouTube Music, so I will link that album in the description below for this podcast in all the description, so that way you can take a look and find it when you can. I will also include that website that Nick was telling me about. Now, Nick, if you could like
genius.
text that link to me, dude, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to specifically send you a link to the album on there?
Yes, could you please?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yep. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple minutes here, and I just want to say, guys, thank you all for tuning in, man. It's such an awesome experience, man. I'm already starting to enjoy this podcast and stuff. Remember, we are not sponsored by Voodoo.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, anyways. All right, dude. Cheers.
I don't have any more beer to drink. I already drank my 2 beers.
Well, I just ran out of it now. Give me a moment. I accidentally sprayed some on my face. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for listening and tuning in, man. It means the absolute world to me, dude. And
it was a good time. It was a really good time. I always enjoy recording with you.
Yep, and obviously, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to stay tuned for updates soon about the Interrobang group, man. We will be working on some comedy stuff as well, and my boy Aegis here will also be looking to do some music stuff as well, so be sure to watch for his stuff. And
and soon I've been working on writing a horror story. I'll be narrating it in sections on my YouTube channel soon. Once I have the third chapter done, I'll start recording videos for it.
That's awesome, man. Be sure
and
to
from
keep
everyone
me
I've read it to so far, they all think it's really good.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look myself, man. Just keep me keep me posted on that.
Yeah, I will.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for listening in, man. It is so amazing, and thank you all for the continued support. And as always, until next time, ta-ta for now.
And in case I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Peace. Peace.